When you think about your abdomen, you probably just think gut, right? But it's so much more than that. It's like this bustling city full of organs, highways, and incredibly complex systems. So, in the next few minutes, we're going to go on a high speed tour to see how it's all so brilliantly wired together. We're going to skip the dry textbook stuff. This is all about your body's hidden logic. So, you ready to dive in? Our tour is going to make a few key stops, and at each one, I've got a question to see what you know about your own insides. And look, this isn't about memorizing a bunch of random facts. It's about seeing the big picture, piecing together this amazing system that keeps you going. Let's get started at the very top, the gateway to the abdomen itself. Okay, so first stop, picture your diaphragm. It's this huge muscle that's basically the ceiling of your abdomen and at the same time the floor of your chest. It's a really powerful barrier, but it's not totally solid. It's more like a security checkpoint with specific organized doorways for vital stuff to pass through. So our first question is all about navigating these special passages. All right, so the question is, which of these guys gets its own special doorway, the one called the esophageal hiatus? Are we talking about the massive inferior vena cava, the aorta, the biggest artery in your whole body, the esophagus itself, your food pipe? What about a lymphatic duct? Or maybe an artery headed for the arm? What do you think? And if you said esophagus, ding, 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 you are absolutely right. The clue is right there in the name, the esophageal hiatus. This opening right around the T10 vertebrae in your back is the dedicated tunnel for your esophagus to pass through, carrying food from your chest right down into your abdomen. And what's so cool is how incredibly organized this whole thing is. It's not just a bunch of random holes. There's actually a super simple memory trick. I ate 10 eggs at 12. The vena cava passes through at T8, the esophagus at T10, and the aorta at T12. See? So logical. And the subclavian artery? Yeah, it doesn't even come near this area. It's got its own route. All right, let's head to our next stop. This time, we're talking about the lining of your abdomen. So think of your abdominal cavity like a room, and the peritoneum, that's the wallpaper. Now here's the key. Some organs are completely wrapped up in this wallpaper, and others are kind of stuck to the wall behind it. This difference is a really big deal in medicine. So here's the breakdown. Intraperitoneal basically means inside the wallpaper. These organs are wrapped up nice and snug, which lets them move around a bit. But retroperitoneal means behind the wallpaper. These organs are fixed in place, right up against the back wall. Makes sense, right? Let's put it to the test. Okay, so with that in mind, which one of these organs is playing hide and seek behind the wallpaper? Is it your stomach, a piece of your small intestine, maybe the pancreas, the spleen, or part of the large intestine? If you guessed the pancreas, you nailed it. Yep, the pancreas is the classic retroperitoneal organ. It's tucked in securely right behind the stomach, kind of plastered to the back wall of your abdomen. And that position is super important for it to do its job without getting jostled around. So that means all those other guys, the stomach, the spleen, bits of our intestines, they're all intraperitoneal. They're the ones wrapped in the wallpaper, which gives them the wiggle room they need to do their thing with digestion. Okay, stop number 3. Let's talk about the plumbing and the power grid. How do all these organs get their fuel, and how do they get rid of waste? Well, it all comes down to a few major arterial highways for supply and a whole drainage system to match. First up, the supply lines. So, check this out. Your gut is basically divided into 3 main zones, and each zone gets its blood from its own dedicated artery. You've got the foregut, fed by the celiac trunk. The midgut gets its supply from the superior mesenteric artery, or SMA. And the hindgut, that's handled by the inferior mesenteric artery, or IMA. So simple, right? 3 zones, 3 arteries. Okay, so keeping that little map in your head, which of these big arteries is responsible for the midgut? And remember, the midgut is a huge piece of real estate, covering everything from your small intestine through most of your large intestine. And the answer is the superior mesenteric artery, the SMA. This thing is an absolute workhorse. It's the lifeline for that massive territory we just talked about, pretty much responsible for helping you absorb almost all your nutrients. And, just to complete the picture, the other arteries all have their own specific assignments. The celiac trunk, that's for the foregut, your stomach, your liver. The IMA handles the hindgut, that last stretch of colon. And the renal and gonadal arteries, well, the names give those away. Kidneys and gonads. Everyone stays in their own lane. Okay, we've covered the supply lines bringing fuel in, so what about the cleanup crew that takes waste out? Let's talk about the lymphatic system. After your small intestine does its thing, where does all that fluid, the lymph, go first? What's the very first checkpoint? And here's another bit of beautiful logic for you. The answer is the superior mesenteric nodes. See the pattern? The artery that supplies a region, the SMA, is basically shadowed by veins and lymph nodes that have the same name. It's like they all travel in a convoy. These nodes are the first line of defense, filtering everything before it moves on. So you can really see the hierarchy, the flow of traffic. It goes from the superior mesenteric nodes up to a collection point called the cisterna chili, and then into the main lymphatic highway, the thoracic duct. The inferior mesentery nodes, they're doing the exact same job, but just for the hindgut. And those inguinal nodes, way down in your groin, totally different department. They're busy handling your legs. Everything has its place. All right, last stop on our tour. We are zooming way in now to look at a tiny but unbelievably important structure. Think of it like a critical junction box, a protective casing that holds all the essential pipes and wires heading to and from your liver. This bundle of pipes and wires has a special name, the portal triad, and it is absolutely vital for your liver to function. So the question is, which of these ligaments gets the all-important job of protecting it? And that all-important casing is the hepatoduodenal ligament. Inside it, you find that famous portal triad. You've got the portal vein, which brings all the nutrient-rich blood from your gut. Then there's the hepatic artery, bringing fresh oxygenated blood to the liver. And finally, the bile duct, which carries waste bile away from the liver. It's literally supply, power, and waste removal all wrapped up in one neat little package. And those other ligaments we listed, they've got totally different jobs. The falciparum ligament is like an anchor for the liver. Others are just there to connect organs, like the stomach to the spleen. And one is just a leftover bit from when you were a fetus. Only the hepatoduodenal ligament is that critical junction box. So let's do a quick recap of our tour, shall we? We saw how the diaphragm has these perfectly organized doorways. We figured out the difference between organs that are wrapped up and mobile and those that are fixed in place behind the scenes. We mapped out the 3 big arterial highways for the gut, and we saw how the drainage systems follow right along with them. And finally, we looked inside the liver's own little junction box. Each stop just adds another piece to this incredible logical puzzle. You know, what we've covered today is really just scratching the surface, which is pretty amazing when you think about it. Our bodies are just crisscrossed with these hidden highways, arteries, veins, nerves, lymphatics. It really makes you wonder, what other incredible networks are humming along right now, keeping everything running perfectly? Something to think about. Thanks for joining me on this tour.